Hello, my fellow YouTubers and people who are just new on here or something. My name's Ian Armstrong. Ian Armstrong. Anyways, I clown around a little bit and stuff like that. I have some injuries and stuff that constantly bother me. Severe tinnitus, severe hyperacusis, if you happen to know those two. And I do research. I started doing research a few years back. I did kind of a prayer one night just saying, my life was hopeless. The next day I walked into this and I haven't been off of the track since. And it's real. I've been good at getting the information and knowing really where us humans pretty in-depthly are. I don't know everything, but I know a lot. And I'm going to tell you right now, I believe I know more on the subject than anybody else out there. Sorry if I'm insulting your native heritage or your 30 years of research or so on and so forth. Your couple of interactions or you can hear them or whatever. My list of interactions and knowledge goes way beyond 1 experience, 2 experience, 3 experience, 10 experience, 100 experience. I would say I'm probably into the thousands of experiences. And I do not mean that I'm having 1,000 conversations with them. I have full out real interactions with them where you get to see them 100%, and I can show you, no problem if you ask me. I've introduced a lot of new things, so people, terminology even. The word mimicking with these beings has exploded in the last year, and in the last 3 years, I've talked about it hundreds of times. I don't know another researcher out there that has mentioned the word mimicking dozens of times. So what I'm saying in this short video is I'm saying get off your ass if you can, please. Really stick your mind into some of my work. Go to my very first interaction, first face-to-face video. It has like 146,000 views, something like that. And it actually deserves to be picked apart by people. I'm surprised nobody's asking me if they can do breakdowns on it to bring out the face of the main character in there, or work on the sounds more. There has been 1 or 2 breakdowns on it, but like I said, I'm surprised it's not being treated at least 10% like Patty from 1967. How many times she's been broken down? Hundreds and thousands, like hundreds of times into the thousands of times. And this video has been broken down by me in my mind and stuff really good. Oh, that's Ian. And so on and so forth. So yeah, ask me some questions, like read some of the questions people, like just on the video, I think just 1 or 2 videos before this, Rob, he asks some question like, are they drilling into this concrete and stuff? And it's like, yeah, Rob. But just Rob all the time isn't enough. It needs to be a lot more than Rob. It needs to be thousands of people coming together on this subject, and then great minds coming together and really building relationships with them, security with them. I told you a couple of years back here that the tree pruning services are going to be going through the roof here in this area. And there is dozens of new companies. And that's just because of what I've learned about these beings. And it only compiles. Everything that they're doing only compiles. Rob, you see that they're doing some drilling and they're doing all that etching and cracking of that foundation there and such. They're doing that on tons of foundations. I see it where it's way worse than that. I'll get one of them for you. And, yeah, it's bizarre. I don't understand. But listen to the lady out in Australia, the indigenous woman that once, she's going to be on my related list. I got a related YouTube videos that are related to the subject list, and she will be in there. And she mentions in there that there's been beings that they know of, or however she words it, that are mountain shapers and valley builders. And she's correct. And it's the first time I ever connected with anybody getting that in depth to these beings. And, you know, the Australian people were first coming into that land 65,000 years ago. Through science, we have discovered that. And so you think of, and they stayed there. And you think about then the relationships and the stories they came across. Until these beings maybe went more out of the picture. Maybe now they're just sticking a little bit more into the picture because they see the world's different and stuff and they're trying to figure things out. Huge energy, guys. The light energy is connected to them. Bring the orbs that you may have seen into thinking. Go look at your video. Is it shaped like an eye? Look at these other light type things and tell me why they resemble a lot like ours. Different luminescence. But a lot of those so-called things can do that. Do you question why that is going on like that? Remember, mimic is a huge thing. That light, I believe, is in their possession. They can make that light extreme enough, I think I would go blind. But they don't mimicking or showing us that. They're mimicking light that we relate with. How much are they adjusting their light to be something that we can see and stuff? It was kind of funny because there's a red dot right there bouncing right on my fingernail now. And that's what I was kind of playing with a little bit there and stuff. So anyways, I'm going. Come on, please. Come and join us. It's a great thing. We just need to talk to me. Don't be so shy, for Pete's sakes. Ian Armstrong, ex-Tin Man. You can still call me whatever you want. Just be nice. Don't forget to like everything. Everything. That's a sharing component. Push and like is sharing. Peace.